Hello and welcome back. This is Spaceman Will, of course, and today we're going to be talking about the AWI Hammerhead Corvette by Havalbian. Obviously, this ship is inspired by the Hammerhead Corvette of Star Wars, and it has a lot of things from it that give it that unique and very cool look. Now, this particular ship is loaded to the gills with turrets. I almost suspect that the author put the turrets in places to where they would be on the actual Hammerhead Corvette from Star Wars, and I think it looks cool. Definitely this little thing's gonna be packing a punch, in just about any fight. What I will tell you is we're gonna do something just a little different with this video, where I'm gonna ramble a lot more. So brace yourself. So with this particular ship, you definitely see one of the common themes from the Star Wars recreation builds and Space Engineers, is that they're more form over function, being that they look nicer, or they look close to the Star Wars copy of it, but they have a lot of functionality that just is not there. Namely being, so looking at his design here, one of the most blatant examples of that, I would say, would be down here, where you have this thruster. Though it may be canon with the Star Wars universe, as to where it's at, it is pointed right at this turret, and in the Space Engineers world, that turret's going to melt off, which is a problem. So, that might be something to correct if you wanted to, but I think this author in particular wanted to hold truer to the the Star Wars universe than truly the Space Engineers. Another little issue here is that you're going to melt off anybody walking across, and if you ever get the bug where the space stations are kind of jittery, and thrusters are firing every which way, you're going to be melting people off this platform, or just melting the station itself. With that thruster, A, so close to this, and B, in line with where it's at. And I also feel like the nacelle there is a little bit of a problem as to if you were going to try and dock. You would be kind of limited on where you can dock and what you can dock to, just strictly because you don't want to bump it with your fragile turrets, or even just the nacelle itself. Now, both of these little issues here, I feel kind of illustrate that form over function very well. And so I kind of took a little bit of liberty here to kind of change things a little bit, just on the exterior side of things. And so we're going to take a look at that real quick. And that is right down here. So this is the same Corvette, but just with some minor changes. Namely being, I moved the nacelles a little bit, moved them out just a little bit to where you have a lot more room to dock right here. And though you may still hit the station with that, you have quite a few more options, with that being as back and as far away as it is. And you also, down here, this is no longer going to melt your turret, it'll be just above. And I also made a couple of just design changes as well. Those being, if you, let me grab that as a side here. Gotta turn on the Amy thing, just so we can see this more side by side. Let's... just like that. Okay. Now, something else I changed here is I kind of tried to protect these turrets a little bit more. If you see, I kind of added the little bumps right there to kind of make that a little bit more flush. And I also put up 2 interior turrets right there to kind of disguise that side a little bit more. So, of the conveyor block. I never find the conveyor block being a very pleasant looking thing. I don't feel like it even adds to the detail of the ship too much. But something that I very much liked that Havalbian did is he put them over the conveyor blocks over here, and I was like, that's a really good idea. Though they are not going to be fed by the conveyors, it still looks a lot better than just having that open face right there. And I also did the same thing down here with this one, except I kind of blocked 2 conveyors right there, and I kind of made this look a little bit more armored. Now, from a practicality standpoint in Space Engineers, you got to look at your turret base as a point of failure. So with this, I've moved the point. So the weakest part of this turret is the turret itself. it would be harder for them to just knock out the conveyor and then take out the turret. You know, when you have the conveyor exposed, they can shoot the turret and they can shoot the conveyor and still take you out. So I just kind of have that a little bit by giving this a little extra armor. And I also gave the appearance or illusion of more armor by kind of varying the little thing right here with these I don't even know what kinds of light armor slope blocks. By adding those in there, it kind of gives the appearance of armor, and it also does add, I think, a little bit more armor than these. And I feel like that looks a little bit cleaner and a little bit more detailed. But you know, obviously, beauty's in the eye of the beholder, I suppose. But regardless, those are just a couple changes that I felt I could illustrate better by showing you. So going back to the original design here, and you know what, we'll leave it where it's at. Let's go ahead, let's move to the interior. Now the interior is not something that I really touched up or messed with too much at all, or at all for that matter. And so one of the immediate things that jumps out to me here is I really wish this little pocket right here could pressurize and depressurize. Even if I had to flip a switch, I feel like that would be helpful right here. Now this is the engineering section with a flight seat. So you have a little bit of a console back here. Something I will point out is I don't believe, yeah, so this, well, I believe that one of the issues we may run into here is, can we even fly it? Oh no, he's got it, never mind. But no, it's a little bit of an engineering section for you, which I think's excellent, excellent to have. Moving on, we have the bridge. So you do have some barracks, I would call them, right along here. And then you go right into the bridge, which you have your monitor, and then your cargo, and a couple windows, which is nice to have. One of the problems I do have, the design, is I don't believe we have, I could just be missing it, but I don't see a camera. So you're flying pretty blind here, which I feel to be probably an issue, especially with me as the pilot. You know, so maybe that's something to work out, just simply because not all servers have the third person enabled. So just something for consideration here. But overall, I think this ship definitely holds true, closer to the Star Wars, you know, kind of design, which is excellent and always a cool road to take. It's always impressive to see how close people can make things in Space Engineers to the actual Star Wars designs. And with Keen adding new blocks as they've been, you know, that really kind of makes us bridge that gap a little better. So anyhow, if you enjoyed this video, feel free to give us a like, subscribe, and check out this ship on the workshop. Havalbian did a great job with it, and definitely deserves some more checking out by the community. So anyhow, thanks again, and we'll see you next time.